साथियों, स्वागत है नॉलेज जंक्शन 2.0 यूट्यूब चैनल पे। साथियों, मैं सौरभ प्रीति आप लोगों का हार्दिक अभिनंदन, अ वार्म वेलकम टू ऑल ऑफ यू। And this is a very special video which we are making on the MCQs on linguistics, a very special series of questions compiled by our volunteer team. So first of all, again, a very heartfelt thanks to our volunteer team who have been working day in and day out for making this kind of content possible. Although we are all a part of a think tank, but it requires a lot of selfless work and most importantly, a spirit to help to serve each other, which is the key factor behind the success of Knowledge Junction, as it is result oriented and pro student favoring institution. So I welcome you all. So before starting, please do like, share, and subscribe our Knowledge Junction 2.0 YouTube channel. This is a very special video on the selected questions on linguistics that we have tried to compile for all of you. So let's dive in straight into the questions where we are going to see the different types of questions made for you people, especially for poly lecturer aspirants. It's going to be very helpful, and net aspirants, of course. So let's start. First question is, the study of rules and practices for making and using sounds in a language is called. So guys, this is phonology. We call it as phonology. Okay. And then the second question is, dash is the variety of language including vocabulary and grammar spoken in a particular social group. So we call it as dialect. Third question is, labiodental sounds are the sounds which are formed by. So these are the sounds which are formed by the bottom lip touching the upper teeth. Then question four, a grammar which sets out to specify the formation of grammatical structure is called as generative grammar. Then we can see here, that question number five is there, which is basically um, question five is, dash is the general term used to denote a form of language pronunciation that is used by particular social groups in particular social context. So the answer is variety. We call it as variety. So question six is the historical approach to language study, which is basically investigate the changes in language through time, is said to be diachronic approach. Okay, very important question, this one. Then seventh question is uh, a new or hybrid language that developed a new or sophisticated grammar or vocabulary and is spoken as, say, some group's first language is now called as Creole. Okay, so that is there. Then moving on to question number eight. Is Herman Paul argued that the most basic building block of language is, you can say, words, of course. Then oral presentation, language preceded the written. There was an emphasis on correct pronunciation and grammar and on using repetition to include correct language. So which method are we talking about here? Of course, CLT, communicative language teaching. Then a label for the speech organs most directly involved in producing a consonant is termed as place of articulation. Place of articulation is a, you can say, a categorization. The terms used for non-linguistic aspects of speaking is paralanguage. We call it as paralanguage. Then next is question number 12. The rules for combining phonemes into words in a language is called as phonotactics. So this is a very important question, new type of question. Phonotactics is the rules for combining phonemes into words in a language, right? Then question number 13, we have got study of phonetics concerned with the processes by which speech sounds are made. It's called as articulatory phonetics. Then moving on to question number 14. So velar sounds. Velar sounds are formed by back of the tongue against the soft palate. Pattern of pitch across a phrase of utterance is called as intonation. Then 16, the distribution of various levels of stress across a syllable chain is called as rhythm. Then question 17 is skipped. Then question 18, the production of speech is controlled mainly by forward proportions of the brain in an area traditionally known as. So, guys, this is Broca's area, right? A variation in the form of a single word for grammatical purpose is said to be uh, is called as prefix. I think. Mhm. Just a minute. I think for this, the answer would be, in my opinion, it's would be inflection. Yes, sorry. Two B's are there. That's why confusion. This is C. So 19th answer is this B. That is inflection, right? Then question number 20 is dash refers to a socially or situationally defined style of language. So that is called as register, contextual language. We have already explained in our notes. Then grammar consists of A and B both, that is morphology as well as syntax. This rule says that you must be relevant in the conversation. So that is Grice maxims of relation. Grice maxim of relation says that the conversation must be relevant. Okay. Then moving on, question number 23 is a term which refers to sequential characteristics of languages. This would be C. Okay, is called as syntagmatic. Okay. Then question 24 is skipped. Question 25 is mentalism. Point out the name of school of thought that advocates the theory. It states that the abstract system of language cannot be learned, but human possess an intellect, innate language faculty, or an access to what has been called a universal grammar. So we call that as mentalism. Okay. Question number 26 is according to John Lyons, when the word can be segmented into parts, these parts are called as morphs, right? Oh, sorry. Yes, morphs would be the answer. In some of the options, two B's are there. So, okay, don't get confused. The one which I am taking, you must read that as the answer. Okay. Question 27. According to George Yu, the study of the relationship between dash and dash is called neurolinguistics. So the answer is study between language and brain is called as neurolinguistics. Question 28 is there. In neurolinguistics, dash cover terms referring to a number of acquired language disorders due to cerebral lesions, that is caused by vascular problems, a tumor, or an accident in the brain. So that is aphasia. Okay, how many types of speech acts are there? It's a very important question, this one. So the answer is two types of speech acts are there. Direct act, direct speech act and indirect speech act. Okay. Then after 29, we have got 30. Question number 30. Who developed the theory of speech act? Very important question. So J.R. Searle, John Roger Searle. The study of Lebov, 1966, shows us that the answer is both A and B. That is, upper middle class misses out R sound, lower middle class pronounces R. So this is by a study by Labov. Chomsky believed there are considerable similarities between language deep structures and that these structures reveal properties common to all languages that conceal, that dash conceal. So the answer is that surface structure conceal. Okay. Question 33, a theoretical concept in transformative generative grammar. system of grammatical analysis developed in generative linguistics as an alternative to a traditional account of phrase structure and lexical categories is called as. So the answer is it's called as X bar theory. Okay, it's called as X bar theory. Question 34 is I will consider a language to be set of sentences, finite or infinite sentence. Whose words are these? So this is said by, of course, Chomsky. Then the combination of two separate forms to produce a single new term is called as blending. It's part of the stylistics. Then question 36, school of thought that advocates the theory which states that a child is born with blank sheets in their brains and all language must be learned by the child. So this is behaviorism. So question 37, a situation when two distinct varieties of same language are used side by side for two different sets of function. It is referred as diglossia. Okay, diglossia. Then question 38 is there. Point out the general expression for a kind of social dialect typically spoken by a lower status, which is treated as non-standard because of marked differences from a socially prestigious variety treated as standard language. So the answer is it's called as vernacular, right? And then moving on to the next question, question number 39. When the meaning of one form is included in the meaning of another, this relationship is described as, it is called as hyponym. It's a very important question, right? Hyponym. Do search all these phrases and find out their examples and write in your notebook. Okay, it's going to be, all the questions are selected in such a way that they are going to be important ones. In Saussurean tradition, the term meaning is referred as, of course, denotata. Denotata. 40, the answer is B. Then question number 41, in semantic analysis, what does the term signifier refer to? So the term signifier refers to words, of course. Oh, sorry. The term signifier refers to all of the above. Words also, phrases, signs, and symbols. So D is the answer. And 42, according to Chomsky, a deep structure deals with the core semantic relations within a sentence. Question 43. In 1957, Chomsky published syntactic structure, which he developed the idea that each sentence in a language has two levels of representations, which is mainly deep structure and surface structure. Then the word syntax comes originally from Greek and it literally means putting together. Then what do inflectional morphemes show? They show all the above. That is, they are used to show if a word is plural or singular. They are used to show if it is past tense or not. They are used to show if it is a comparative or possessive form. So all three are covered in inflectional morphemes. Very important question. Okay. So then we skipped some questions indirectly because some of the questions I thought that they are not needed, and also most importantly we are targeting net and poly specific MCQs here. So directly jumping on to the last question of this file, and that is as termed by George Yule, when free morphemes are used with bound morphemes, the basic word forms are technically called as, so they are called as stems. They are called as stems. So that in a way, guys, conclude my session on this special MCQs. In total, we covered 44 questions, leaving out 6 questions out of the 50. So I hope that you will like this series. Please do comment that if you wish to have the second part of this series. I would love to have your encouraging comments on this video, because that is the most important factor, which in a way encourages us to post more videos on such informative kind of topics, right? So please do post in the comment section if you like this effort of ours, and especially our team. And we'll try to then come up with the second part of this MCQ series on linguistics. And most importantly, there are some announcements coming at the end of the September, moving forward for lecturer batch going on at KJ and also Polytechnic batch. So please do watch out that video on announcements related to our, you can say, schedules for October 2024. Till that time, keep enjoying learning of literature and language. I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much.